A sub 10 minute speedrun of Die in the Dungeon Prologue had been my goal ever since I first got World Record. This goal was made only sharper by the competition that Datbo provided. The time of 8 minutes and 58 seconds that I got, which broke the 10-minute mark for me, the first time I broke 10 minutes, broke the 9-minute mark for the first time ever, and took World Record. It was an amazing time. I was ecstatic, and I honestly, even right after I got the time, I had no clue how that time was even possible. So we'll start with the start. It was absolutely perfect. The first floor, I killed the fly in one turn and got the upgrades for both my attack dice. So amazing start. Then the luck got even better. With floor 2, I got the skip event. And even more than that, I got the gold area attack dice. A gold area attack dice. Arguably, a later skip is better than an early skip. My skip, I went from floor 2 all the way to floor 6. Floor 6 was another event floor. I added hollow to my area attack, which just makes that dice even better. Basically got 5 floors absolutely free. It's insane luck. I'm at floor 7 before 30 seconds have even passed. So I already knew this was an amazing run. Accept the luck and capitalize on it. On floor 8, I made a mistake. On the second turn, I could have killed both the ant and the moth on turn 2. Ended up wasting 2 turns because of that. Now I was able to upgrade both my boost dice. And at this point, I was already kind of starting to have a little bit of an off-the-wall strategy. And I was already considering discarding my heal dice to make my deck lighter and field more attack and boost, especially fielding more boost on that area attack dice to really get to use it. Floor 9 went fine, and for the floor reward, I really wanted to focus on the area, so I went ahead and discarded my heal dice. Now, my thought here was I wanted to play the area dice every turn along with 2 boost dice to really try to wipe as many floors on turn 1 as I could. And floor 10 went according to plan. I was able to discard the extra silver attack dice, and I was ready to start upgrading my deck. Now, for the mid-game floors, floor 10 until the Queen Bee boss battle, I wanted to get through these as quick as humanly possible, or as frogly possible, and I wanted to prep my deck for the Queen Bee fight. So floor 11 went well, took 2 turns to kill both of the bugs, and I was able to upgrade my boost dice. I upgraded my boost dice before my attack dice because I wanted the boost dice to help improve my area attack. Floor 12 went amazingly, had a floor wipe, which is exactly what I wanted. Now, floor 13, I got the treasure bag event floor. Looking back, I'm unsure why I clicked and why I looked for more dice. I think I was probably curious if that maybe getting a gold tier dice and discarding one of my other dice would be faster than upgrading the existing dice. I ended up picking the Holy, which is an attack dice that always rolls 6. I definitely intended to replace the silver attack. In floor 14, I was able to kill all the enemies in one turn, including a roach, which felt very good. And I discarded my silver attack dice, bringing me back down to 5 dice in my deck. I completed floor 15 in one turn. I tend not to open my bag, and I try to limit the amount of time it takes to make a decision. At this point, I had run so many times that I might not have even realized I needed to upgrade my block dice. Anyway, next floor on floor 16 took 4 turns. I had cockroaches that I had to fight. I had imperfect cockroach rolls, but I did end up getting through it, and as the floor reward, I added more max HP. I definitely didn't want my deck to get any bigger. Floor 17 took 2 turns for me. You'll notice I had an opportunity to place my boost slightly differently, and I could have killed the moth in one turn rather than the cockroach. You can see that I preferred to kill the cockroach on turn 1 rather than the moth. The reason was, even though the moth would heal back up, I knew I was going to get enough boost and attack damage that I could kill the next turn, whereas the roach, I would have had to roll an exact 9. I chose to add hollow to the other attack. Now, with a deck of 5 and 2 of them being hollow, I can play all 5 dice every turn. On floor 18, I got the event. I was already at full health, so I just skipped it. Floor 19 got a triple roach floor that I wiped in one turn. It was beautiful. Beautiful. And at this point, I realized I had a basic block and decided to upgrade that so I wouldn't die. Now for the Queen Bee boss fight, my primary goal was to not die. I did not want to waste the amazing run I was having, and I also wanted to beat the bee quickly. For turn 2, the bee was intending to attack once, but I only rolled boost and honey. So this was a downside of the way I'd built my deck. I discarded both boost. I was hoping to have some sort of damage or block. I ended up losing 12 HP and I was down to 10. For turn 3, the bee ended up doing the honey move, thankfully. So I took the opportunity to use... So I triple honeyed on the holy dice for 52 attacks. On turn 4, the bee prepped its special action for 2 attacks. I triple honeyed the holy dice again for a 48 attack. And on turn 5, the bee was on 3 HP and I won. Now, I was feeling really good with the pace. I beat the queen bee just about 5 minutes into the run. My deck was really coming together to get through the late game floors quickly and also be strong enough for the final boss. At least that's what I hoped. I wanted to kill these jokers as quick as possible and get to the evil frog. On floor 21, I had 2 elite beetles and a mimic. It took 3 turns to get through them all, and for the floor reward, I had the equivalent of a nuclear weapon, which was fun. Floor 22 was great. Floor wipe, smile. I ended up skipping the reward here. On floor 23, I got another event. At the time, I was thinking, I have my 5 dice. These are the ones I want. I don't want to mess it up. In hindsight, it might be a good idea to have 3 attack going into the boss fight. There is the possibility that on the next floor, I wouldn't have gotten my area, which I did end up using. Because floor 24, I was attacked by 3 elite archers. My aim for this boss fight was primarily not to die and waste this run, but I also did want to kill the frog and kill him quickly. So on turn 1, the evil frog placed down 16 damage. I did double boost one of his attacks for +4 damage, but then I also double boosted my block dice and another one of my attacks. For turn 1, I took 14 damage and he took 15. In turn 2, the evil frog was going to just shield for 6. He also left a lot of boost places open for me to work with, which I was very grateful for. I played all my dice and boosted my shield. On turn 3, I beat phase 1 and added 3 to my shield. I was a little worried at first until I realized that by rearranging my attack, I could end phase 1, add some block to myself, and he wouldn't even use an attack that turn anyway. So on turn 4, I had suboptimal boost placement, which lost me out on 3 damage. On turn 5, I took only 1 damage, and the evil frog took 26. On turn 6, he massive shields. I give him 14 damage, but he ends up with 13 shield after that I'll have to break through. So turn 7, I gave him 12 damage, but I also gave him 7 shield, and he heals up 8. But on turn 8, I end up killing him anyway with 28 attack. I was extremely excited, just spam clicking, yelling at the evil frog to talk faster, to disappear, and when I saw the final time of 8:58, I forgot I was recording. I just walked out of the room and started celebrating. Now, looking back on the full run, the whole time I was terrified of dying. I didn't have the heal dice by choice, but I didn't have the heals, so I knew any damage I took was permanent. I relied on boost rather than a mirror dice. In the evil frog fight, the boost dice can be a little more fiddly because you're constantly worried that you're going to boost his attack or boost his shield. The mirror dice is a little more straightforward if you are able to place it. Now, throughout this run, I had extreme luck, incredibly favorable RNG. I would have to replicate getting that area dice early, and it'd have to be a good, like near gold tier area dice as well, and then be able to quickly deck manage down so I would get to play that area dice more often. Now, throughout the run, I did have some really good RNG. Had good rolls, favorable rolls throughout. I had easy floors from time to time, and plenty of opportunity to deck manage, to discard the dice that I did not need, or to upgrade the dice that I really wanted to. And on top of that, I had a really good floor skip early on that just rocketed the time on this speedrun. The one main mistake that I saw was on floor 8. That was when I basically took twice as long to kill the enemies as I should have. Overall, I think there might be some changes I make to my strategy as well. One thing, after really looking closely at this run and some other speedruns, I might try to grab an extra attack dice on floor 23 or 24, maybe a heavy attack dice. One of the things I've noticed is to get through the boss fights quicker, it really helps to have one extra attack dice to play and lay out the damage. I might also try to get a hollow mirror dice rather than using 2 boost. Overall, I might spend less time boosting with a mirror than having a boost dice. And in the evil frog fight, I might spend less time boosting and more time killing the evil frog. Although it didn't end up affecting the run, in theory it would be a slightly better choice to put the grow on the holy dice rather than the area dice. I'll also say getting the floor skip is more helpful later on. This is something that overall I think I lost time. I would still recommend seeing runs through to at least floor 15 before quitting if you don't have a floor skip. I think my run proves that sacrificing the heal dice might be the new strategy. From the various mistakes and suboptimal choices, I'm thinking I can save about 20 seconds. There are some opportunities for even better RNG and even better floors, which could also save a few more seconds. And I think the strategy improvements will help with the time it takes for me to kill the final boss. That being said, I will aim to shave about 30 seconds off my current personal best. That will be my new personal goal for speedrunning. During this whole time, I will be analyzing what other runners do and then try to keep learning from them. I think a sub 8 minute 30 second time is a very aggressive goal, so I don't know how long this will take me. But one thing I will say is please subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified as soon as I do.